I'm Steve Grice. I'm the COO here at Trustap. So we're essentially an escrow style payment gateway for marketplaces and e-commerce stores. And we've emulated the flow and sat it on top of our processing partners. So we're able to safeguard the funds until certain milestones have actually been unlocked. I learned about you guys, I think it was a recommendation from a place I'd worked at previously. Why we engaged with you on that particular project. At that stage, we were quite early in our process. We've grown a lot in the last year, but that was at the point when we really started to push on with the product. And we still had a relatively small team, but these huge plans attached to it. We're in the process of hiring a QA team, but we had some features that we really wanted to get tested then and not wait 3 months. So we were able to engage with KnubiSoft. It had all gone very well on the QA side. I think we were really happy with you guys. We've built a solid product into a lot more than that over the past year. It's now there's lots of different aspects to it, and bespoke work we do with certain partners, and there's like a never-ending carousel of work, and it's sometimes difficult to plan for that. You don't want to hire a team on a project and then once the project's gone, you've kind of got the wrong skill set. So anything that's gonna be not an obvious fit for a permanent team, that's where we'd look to outsource. I mean, relationships really important as well, but ultimately, the quality of the work's gonna be king here. So with us, obviously, we had the kind of recommendation in the first place, which would gave us a lot of confidence. But still, I remember what you guys did. You engaged on like a test project first of all, because it wasn't just myself that you needed to convince. It was more importantly the tech guys who know a lot more about this stuff than I do. Everybody was really happy with that, and that gave us the confidence to engage in deeper, more complex projects. But ultimately, it was the quality of the work and the relationship as well. I mean, you guys are very easy to deal with. Language was never an issue. Time zones were never an issue. None of that. I'd say massively exceeded expectations, because I'd say after that first couple of days of the conflict, I think we only had about 2 days downtime, which we were amazed at. And there was no expectation whatsoever on our side to get back to work, but all of a sudden there you were, which was crazy, really. So I mean, from in terms of the dedication, not just the quality of work, I think the attitude towards the work as well. We couldn't really ask for any more. It was maybe about 6 months in total, something like that, across the two of them. I think the QA side for the whole 6 months, and the Vue side for maybe 3 of those 6. We had 2 QA experts working on there. They were working on, I think it was a variety of projects. It was, I think with the QA guys, it was a little while ago this, so I'm trying to remember. I think it was a localization project, or a variety of localization projects. So just making sure, testing, really deeply testing anything that touched currency or language. I believe that was the main thing. But even after that, I think we then retained them for many more months, just helping the existing team that we'd since hired as well, just being an extra outlet there, just to kind of go back over and constantly have this kind of round of testing everything all the time. On the Vue side, so we got a pretty healthy front end team anyway, but it was one of these where our guys were working on key projects, like big things that like client focused things we were putting an awful lot of resource into. But when you do that, it doesn't matter how big your team is, there's always going to be the list of nice to haves rather than must haves, and that list never ever moves unless you find a way of applying some focus to it. So this was our opportunity to work with you guys and have a list of stuff which is really important but wasn't kind of top priority, and enabled us to work through a variety of different projects, just ticking those off over the course of like 2 or 3 months, I think it was. I never had any negative feedback or anything other than positive feedback really from the team leads at our end who were managing on the QA side and on the front end side. So I think particularly one of your guys on the QA side, Moha, got really, really top feedback from our guys. They were really super happy with his attitude. And quite often when you're outsourcing, there's a lot of kind of pressure and sales from the other side, for more. Whereas we've certainly never had that from KnubiSoft. Even in the original part of the pitch from you guys, it wasn't really, it was very solution focused and like, how can we help you do this, as opposed to this is what we do, and kind of pushing it to us, which some of the other vendors kind of fell into that trap. I genuinely get the feeling that you guys are focused on delivering something first and foremost, rather than just, business development. It's like, yeah, I've already done that on a couple of occasions. I think I've put a couple of recommendations your way, and yeah, continue to do that. If anybody's asking for, I'm happy to be, to offer that recommendation if they're looking for outsourced tech partners, for sure.